Hey guys, welcome. 3.2 video, properties of parallel lines. So today we're going to prove theorems about parallel lines and to use properties of parallel lines to find angle measures. So we're going to take a lot what we took from 3.1 on those types of angles, and now we're going to apply a rule to them. So let's jump in to the rules. Okay, write this postulate down. This is same side interior angles postulate. Basically, if you have same side interior, they're going to add up to 180 degrees. So 4 and 5 are 180 degrees, 6 and 3 are 180 degrees. Again, they're on the same side and they're on the interior of the two parallel lines. So just a quick review, this line cutting right here is the transversal. L and M are the two pieces that are getting cut by the transversal, and they have to be parallel. This is an if-then statement. Okay, so just a conditional statement like we did in the previous chapter. So if parallel lines, then same side interior are 180 degrees. So let's keep moving on. This little wagon train a moving, a choot choot choot. Okay, alternate interior angles, same thing. If the lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are going to be congruent. So 4 would be congruent to 6, 5 is congruent to 3, and corresponding angles, similar thing. If our lines are parallel, then corresponding angles. The top left of the table is equal to the top left of the table on the other table. Okay, and so vice versa. So make sure you get those written down. And last but not least, alternate exterior angles, same thing. If the lines are parallel, then they are going to be congruent. Okay, so we covered these types of angles in 3.1. Now we're giving you some more information about what is true about them. So basically, they're all equal to each other. Alternate interior angles, alternate interior angles, so exterior and interior, corresponding angles, and then same side interior sum to 180. So they're going to be equal or sum to 180. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, first example here, make sure you write it down. Number 1. The measure of angle 3 is 55 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and write that in. Always label our picture, it always kind of helps. 55 degrees. Which angles are supplementary to 3? Well, this is pretty easy. Same side interior. So the same side interior are going to be 3 and 8. So those are going to add to 180. Also, we see that we have right here a linear pair. So that's also going to add to 180. And that's because 2 and 8 are actually congruent because they're alternate interior angles. So those are going to add to 180. And then we also see 4 and 3 are going to add to 180. So quite a bit is going to add to 180 or be congruent in this picture. So that's what it is. It asks us to solve, but we do know that angle 8 is going to be supplementary by same side interior versus angle 2 and 4 are going to be congruent by supplementary or linear pair. Okay, what is the measure of angle 3 and 4? Alright, I like to think of these as giant puzzles. I like to fill everything in. Everything I can possibly fill in. Okay? So right here, off the bat, I see 7 is 105. And the reason? Vertical angles. Again, every time I say something, I'm going to say why I know it. Okay? Now look at 7 and 3. They're corresponding parts. Okay? The transversal would be M, P, and Q. But see how 3 is in the bottom right? And 7 is also in the bottom right? So this is also going to be congruent. Okay? Now it asked me what is the measure of 3 and 4. Well, I just found the measure of 3. So the angle of measure 3 is 105. And how do I know that? Well, it's not corresponding angles because 105 and 3 are alternate interior angles. And we can just use the shorthand AIA. Alternate interior angles. Okay? Angle 4, that's going to add to 180 because these are same side interior. So I'm going to add 75. And this is same side interior, same side interior. And you can go ahead and do initials for it because it becomes quite lengthy. So this would be 75. And then we could go ahead and fill this whole thing out. That would be 105 because it's supplementary. 1 and 4 are alternate interior angles, so that's 75. Okay, 2 is going to be 75 vertical. 5 is 75. Just kidding, it's not 75, it's 105, and that's because they're vertical. And 2 and 5 are same side interior, so they have to add 180. And 8 is also going to be 105. And that's because these are same side interior and they have to add. So you can really fill this whole puzzle in. If you notice, really the puzzle is made up of only two numbers. They're congruent or they add to 180. You just got to make sure you know when. And the good way to tell is if you don't really remember fully all the goodies, remember you still have to have a linear pair adds to 180 and vertical still have to be congruent. So if you double check those things, it really should help with this AIA, alternate interior angles, AEA, alternate exterior angles, so on and so forth. Because here's a prime example right here. 5 and 7. Okay, those are alternate exterior angles right there. Okay, so again, a lot of stuff going around. Okay, this will be our last one. Which angle measure 55? Okay, so which angles measure 55? How do I know? Oh, okay, so let's go through all the angles that are congruent to 55. So first of all, we have angle 2. That's vertical. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write each one. So angle 2, the reason why we know, vertical. Okay, 55 is also going to be congruent to 6. And how do I know that? That's going to be alternate interior angles. Okay. Then we also know that 6 and 7 are congruent. And the relationship between 55 and 7 is going to be corresponding angles, which we can just use as CA. Okay? And everything else in this picture is not going to be 55, but whatever it would get to 180, which in this case I believe would be 125, and that would be it. Okay, so vertical for 2, alternate interior for 6, corresponding for 7.